You know those stories that get so popular, so terrifying that they basically become a part of a city's DNA? Well, today we're diving deep into one of Japan's most bone-chilling urban legends, the Kuchisake-onna, or the Slit-Mouthed Woman. It's a story about beauty, insane jealousy, and a question that has no right answer. Let's get right into it. So, I want you to picture this. You're in Tokyo's Shibuya district. It's 1 in the morning. A young woman, her name's Akara, is walking home from her late shift. Yeah, the main streets are all lit up with neon, but her apartment is down one of those narrow, quiet alleys. The only thing you can hear is the sound of her own breathing and the sharp click-clack of her heels on the empty pavement. And then, she hears it. Other footsteps. She whips around, but there's nothing there, just shadows. Then, a figure kind of steps out of the darkness ahead. It's a woman, wearing a long black coat and a surgical mask. As this figure gets closer, a question just cuts right through the silence. Am I beautiful?
Okay, so you probably think you know where this is going, right? Classic horror setup. But this first encounter, well, it isn't exactly what it seems. It actually starts out as a joke, a prank, that's feeding on a fear that has already gripped the entire city. So Akara is just frozen solid. She's terrified. The woman asks again, her voice getting more and more insistent. Akara wants to bolt, but her feet are glued to the ground. I mean, what do you even say to that? Then the woman reaches up and starts to slowly lower her mask. Akara just lets out a scream and hits the pavement, begging for her life. And then, laughter breaks the silence. The scary figure? It's Hana, Akara's roommate. Turns out she was just messing with her, playing on the whole city's paranoia about the Kuchisake-onna legend. Akara is furious. She's yelling, "That was a horrible joke. With everyone so scared of that story, you could have given me a heart attack." But it was all in good fun. Or so they thought.
And this is where the story takes a very, very dark turn. That harmless prank, born from a legend, ends up summoning the real thing. The game is officially over, and the real nightmare, it's just getting started.
So a few days go by, and now it's Hana's turn to walk home late from work. As she heads down a dark street, she sees this long shadow stretching out towards her. A woman in a long coat and a surgical mask steps out. But Hana, she just cracks a smile. She figures it's Akara, getting her back with a little copycat prank. Payback time, right? The figure asks the question, "Am I beautiful?" Hana, still thinking this is all a game, just confidently replies, "Yes, you are beautiful. Akara, you really got me. You can stop the act now. I'm almost home." She's still smiling, totally clueless about the fatal mistake she just made.
The woman asks again, "Am I beautiful?" And then she pulls down her mask. Hana's smile just evaporates. The woman's face is a complete horror show. Her mouth is carved open from ear to ear in this grotesque, bloody grin. This is no prank. This is the real Kuchisake-onna. Now, here's the twisted genius of this legend. It's a trick question with no right answer. See, if you say yes, she takes out a huge pair of scissors and slits your mouth just like hers, so you can be beautiful too. But if you say no, she just kills you right there on the spot. It's a perfect, totally inescapable trap. Hana, realizing she's walked right into this deadly trap, just panics. She takes back her answer. No, you're not beautiful. I hate your face, you're ugly." And those words, they seal her fate. The spirit becomes enraged, declaring that if she can't be beautiful, then no one in the city will be. The very last thing Hana sees is that glint of steel as the scissors come right for her face. Hana's murder sends this massive wave of terror through Tokyo, but it doesn't stop there. The spirit starts to evolve. A girl named Misato gets killed when the spirit actually climbs out of her phone screen. Another is killed in her own locked bathroom, with the spirit coming through the mirror. The message was loud and clear: nowhere is safe. The legend wasn't just on the streets anymore, it was inside their homes. So who is this vengeful spirit, really? And why is she so obsessed with beauty and revenge? Well, to understand the monster, you have to go back and look at the heartbreaking human story that created her in the first place. The legend says she was once a woman who was just breathtakingly beautiful. But her husband, he grew jealous and incredibly insecure.
He was so paranoid, he wouldn't even let her leave the house. When he returned from a war, he accused her of being unfaithful, and in this violent rage, he took a pair of scissors and he mutilated her face. She died from her injuries, and her spirit was trapped, just consumed by a need for revenge.
So, the city is paralyzed with fear, the police are absolutely clueless, and one man decides he has to do something. A priest named Hoshuma, he believes this has to be the work of a spirit, and he prepares to confront the Kuchisake-onna himself.
Armed with a holy talisman and some blessed salt, Hoshuma walks the dark streets at midnight, looking for her. And sure enough, a black shadow appears. The air gets iced cold. She asks her question. But instead of answering, Hoshuma starts chanting and throws the salt and the talisman right at her. She lets out this blood-curdling shriek and just vanishes. For a second, it actually looks like he's won. But that peace doesn't last long. That very night, the spirit comes to Hoshuma in a nightmare. "You deceived me," she hisses in his dream. "I have returned, and now a dance of death will begin that all will watch." The priest wakes up in a cold sweat. He realizes he didn't defeat her. He just made her angrier, and a whole lot stronger. The killings start up again, and this time, they're more brutal and more widespread than ever. Hoshima knows that by fighting her, he actually made the curse stronger. Now, he's the only one who can possibly end it. He decides he has to face her one last time. He goes back to the exact same alley where he first saw her, and he calls out her name. Instantly, the air gets so cold it's hard to breathe. The streetlights start to flicker and then just die out one by one. And then, she's there, standing right in front of him. And there it is. She asks her deadly question one final time. The fate of the entire city is hanging on his answer. But Hoshima doesn't say yes or no. He completely sidesteps the trap. He looks past the monster she's become and speaks to the tragic woman who's still trapped inside. He doesn't judge her face. Instead, he reframes her entire tragic story with one powerful truth. The spirit just shrieks, clutching her head as he says this. But Hoshima isn't done. He delivers the final moral blow. He condemns her for what she's done, not for what she looks like. And for his final move, he holds up a holy mirror. She's forced to look at her own reflection, the bloody, disfigured face that her rage created. The spirit lets out one final, agonizing scream and just dissolves into a cloud of smoke. She's gone, for good. And just like that, the terror was over. The priest beat her, not with a simple yes or no, but with a complex truth about her past and a moral judgment about her present. It really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? If a legend like this is born from a tragic lie, the lie that beauty is everything, then maybe it can only be defeated by an unflinching, undeniable truth.